purpose of the internship is to, first of all, get kids out of school, out of the classroom, into some real-world situations where they can practice skills that they're going to need, whether they're going to college or whether they're going out in the work world.
It's an opportunity for students to apply the knowledge and skills they're learning in school and their academic subjects in the context of a real world environment. And by developing a project or researching an essential question at the work site.
We believe that part of the lack of education in the high school, and it's not a fault of the school system, it's just the lack of working in the work environment and getting experience. So we like to provide the kids with a chance to come into an office, see how an office environment operates, and to see how the working world really works.
Internships are important for high school students because it gets them out of the classroom and into the workplace, where they can apply skills that they've learned in the classroom to actual work experience.
I always feel nervous when I start an internship because it's totally new experience and you don't know the people, but it's kind of exciting too because it's something new.
To me, the most appealing thing about an internship is pretty much getting a feel of each career. It allows me to, as I said, see what I want to do in the future. And it also allows me to get to know people who are in the field and what they think about it.
I think I'll be very highly respected in my workplace, considering I am a 17-year-old high school senior and I am pursuing what I want to do in the future. And I think they look very highly upon that.
The most important skill I think I'm going to learn during my internship is communication skills. We do a lot of that in the Coast Guard because if everything, I mean, you're dealing with people's lives and everything, and if it isn't all correct, you could be messing up big time.
The outside speaker, the apparatus has been activated until 2 o'clock.
What I like most about my internship is that I get to come to work and essentially do everything that the firefighters do, almost everything. And I'm a part of the team. I have to go through all the same trainings that the volunteer firefighters have to go through. I have to learn all the equipment that they use, so I'll be able to use it on an emergency call.
I think Melanie was challenged in a number of different ways. She had to learn everything from patient assessments and how to treat people medically to how to make hose lays, learn how to use a self-contained breathing apparatus, make a hydrant, and use ladders and a lot of other equipment and tools that we learn here in the fire service.
What I like most about my internship is the amount that I'm needed around here. I'm definitely needed. I'm almost as much as a teacher as around here. I go from classroom to classroom helping out, and I just like the fact that I'm treated as a teacher and respected as a teacher, yet I'm not a teacher yet, and I'm still getting that respect, and I have a lot to do.
The best part of Alex's time here as an intern at North Bay School is the role model that he has been for the children. He has modeled at all times very appropriate behaviors for the children, and he has gained their respect.
This year I'm interning in a big company. It's an experience that not a lot of people get to have. I'm able to come to office in my own workspace and pretty much interact with a lot of different people who are learning a lot of different things and allow me to learn from them.
We've been asking her to create some websites and some web pages for us that represent what our department does, who's in our department, and provide information that'll be used within the company. And we've provided her with some training, but that's been self-paced training that she's had to take on her own. And she's completed that training and is now fully into developing the web pages. So I think she's received some good challenges along the way and has had a really good opportunity to learn a lot while she's been here.
What makes my internship rigorous is that I had to go in and first I had to do a lot of research. He gave me 2 books which I had to not read all the way through, but I had to skim more than thoroughly, and that took a lot of my time. I had to learn new equations, I had to learn math equations.
What we did in the gym is we have this machine called the Larson Davis 2900, and one of its functions is to record reverberation time. So what we do is we hook it up to a self-powered amplifier, and it lets out a pink noise. So it fills the room with noise, and then for 2 seconds, and then it'll stop. And then it records how long it takes for that sound to drop 60 decibels. And the time that that takes is the reverberation time. And then the machine will plot out graphs, and I get the average reverberation time for different frequencies.
As a mentor, I've learned how much fun it is to work with younger people and to watch them learn and see the joy of learning something new.
Since I'm working with sound, I had to study logarithms through various acoustics books. Now in my pre-calc class, we're doing logarithms, and we just started doing sound waves in physics, and so I have a good insight on that now.
I think Jessica has been challenged a lot in our classrooms. She has to deal with kids at all different levels. She works with small groups and needs to adapt the materials and the way she presents a lesson to meet the kids at each level.
Probably the most challenging thing for me is communication, because I'm only here 2 days a week and things are going on for the other 3 days of the week in the school. And to make sure that I'm caught up on what's going on with all of that and how my project is developing when I'm not there is really hard for me to do. And also to, like I said before, to work with the kids on their project since they're so young, and it's really challenging to be able to work with them well.
The thing I like most about my internship is probably the variety of things that we do. We go out sometimes on the boats and do different things, sometimes with the helicopter, sometimes just man overboard drills. Sometimes I'll stay here and work on the boats with the engineers. It's a real variety of things I do.
It's just a step up in life. He had expressed some interest in going into the Coast Guard. He knows that he's expected to meet certain requirements when he's here, and those requirements are not easy. And you know, it's a life role of training where, okay, hey, I accomplished this, now I can go out and do that. Elsewhere in college, I can apply my skills that I learned here.
Just the other day in trigonometry, we were doing graphs on the board, and I sat there in my seat thinking about how I could relate this to my internship, and I figured out that if all the communications broke down on the boat, that I could take a map and maybe be able to plot out the area and figure out where we were on the ocean.
They come back a different person after our 10-week internship program. They're different than when they started, and to me, that's a real value.
It also allows them that opportunity to be held to a higher standard than they're held in school, because the standard of work is real, and it has higher stakes than a grade.
Also, it's something that students can include on their resume when they apply to colleges, that they've had a workplace experience that's authentic.
Okay, this is my internship project presentation.
The purpose of the exhibition is really twofold. One, it creates a high-stakes environment where the student is required to show what they know and to bring together a lot of different elements of the learning experience, such as being able to present orally to an audience of either peers or, in most cases, to a professional audience of staff who are at the work site.
My focus question was gaining the knowledge and skills that it takes to be a successful member of a boat crew.
So it creates an environment at which students really rise to a very high level because they really want to do a good job.
This has been the best experience of my teaching career, the celebration that you get when you see students achieve to a point where they didn't think they could go, when Russell Krotz gave his presentation at the Coast Guard, and as he tied his bowline knot and the place erupted in applause, I was touched, because that's the type of experience we're trying to set up, where students are celebrated for by a larger audience and larger community than just their parents and just their teachers.
I think internships or programs are important for high school students, for college students, because most people in schools study things that they don't know in what way they can be relevant to their real life. And it's very important to see the context of a modern work site and to work with people at a modern work site in order to really understand what needs to be learned.
I'm applying the skills that I've learned in my internship all over my life. When I meet new people, I've learned through my internship how to not be as nervous, make better eye contact, firm handshakes.
I think your internship program is probably one of the most important things you can do for a high school student. I think it's one of those phenomenal transitions from the high school to the college experience. It helps high schoolers think a little bit more or have a little more information when they're thinking about what it is they actually want to do in college.
After an internship, I look back and kind of evaluate whether or not it's a field I'd be interested in pursuing, or if it's something that was interesting but I'd rather not pursue any further.
I think what internships accomplish is it gets kids very excited about learning, and it opens them up in a way to be lifetime learners, and they understand what learning's about. And once you go to that place, you never go back. So I think it's life-changing.